I'm Carmine Gallo. We're here with Geoff Ralston, partner at Combinator, the startup accelerator that is behind such names as Reddit, Dropbox, another company you may have heard about, Airbnb. Some success stories. Are there any failures? And do you admit failure?
In some sense, when you get in the startup business, you are opening yourself to failure on a scale that most people never experience in their career. So of course, there's failure.
Yeah.
Most startups fail. There is no two ways about that. It is inevitable. Part of the story that we have to tell ourselves when you start a startup, is that I'm going to be one of the ones that don't fail. Mm-hmm. With the sure knowledge that the probabilities are against you. It's kind of like the way we live our lives. The probabilities are really high that we're all going to die, but we live our lives like that's not an issue. And the probability as a startup is that you're going to die, but you suspend that disbelief. And you go for it, and you believe, and you go and you fight hard. So failure is built into the system.
And what I love about Silicon Valley and the culture is they celebrate failure. Whereas I have traveled to different parts of the world, and there's this idea of saving face. You don't admit failure. Silicon Valley is very different.
I agree with that, although I'm not quite sure we celebrate failure. It's fair to say that we accept it, we assume it, and we build on it.
Yeah.
Because, success is built upon previous successes and previous failures.
Let's talk specifically about storytelling. You specialize, and your background is in the hard sciences, and yet you place a very high premium on the soft skills, for lack of a better word, storytelling and communication. Why? Why so important for entrepreneurs?
I like to think of storytelling as a way to connect technology to our humanity. If you think about what a startup does, it creates a reality for its customers, its partners, its employees, about where that startup's going to be, how that startup, that tiny little company, is going to be a multi-billion-dollar colossus. How can you do that without telling a dream, without telling a story? Because it's not real today, it's real in the future, it's a reality tomorrow. Yes, you're doing that with extremely cool technology. But to make that technology, transform that technology into something that matters to people, you have to tell a story. You have to connect it. You can call that soft, but I call it fundamental.
You have a lot of passion for the startup field. You have a lot of passion for the entrepreneurs that you back. And I know that you look for passion too in the entrepreneurs that you invest in.
In the field of startups, there's one thing that's unquestionable. You will find adversity. You will find difficulty. You will get punched in the face and knocked down and have to get yourself back up, dust yourself off, fix your product, fix whatever went wrong, find the money you need to keep on going, and keep building. You need passion to do that. You need to care so deeply. And your cold analytical calculations about why you're going to be a big company aren't going to come back to you in those difficult times when you wake up at 3 in the morning and go, oh my God, how is this going to work? It's your passion, it's your emotion that will drive you.
Finally, I want to talk to you about this idea of being able to articulate what you do or your idea in one sentence. I'm a big believer in that. I call it creating a Twitter-friendly headline. I want to know what you do in a sentence of 140 characters. But I've heard you say something similar, where you look for entrepreneurs who can communicate and articulate their idea in one sentence. Mm-hmm. Why is that so important?
It's so important for two reasons. The most important reason is the way we work. The more simple an articulation, the more powerful it is, and the easier it is for whomever you're articulating that to understand it, to get it, to come on board with you, to join your narrative, to join your story, to maybe invest in you. The second reason is that it's important for you to understand what your own narrative is, to understand what your business really does. Until you can actually condense it into that really simple format, you don't understand, or you won't understand as well what product you're building, what solution you're building, and what the value is that you're going to deliver to your customer. And in almost every case, once you have that articulation, once you have that narrative, everything else gets easier. Hiring a team gets easier, raising money gets easier, creating the product and the company that you're dreaming about gets easier. So it's critical for both reasons, I think.
Excellent. Jeff, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Carmine.
you're a pleasure to talk to.
Great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.